So. Kriegen wir wieder viele ADK über uns rein, wenn man muss.
Wie
machen wir's?
We do have the Aphelios and the Jinx, which are gone quite early, but it can shape, especially how the rest of the series is going to look, because Ornn is also gone, right? So Scion stocks go up if you want to play a front-to-back composition here. We'll see what does eventuate.
Yeah,
Aurora?
Yunara was the first ban last time around. This time it's going to be Wukong.
Aurora auf jeden Fall ein Champion, über den man reden muss.
By the looks of things, based on that particular ban.
Okay.
The Bard will always be the first ban, I assume, from BNK, and I do not blame them for that one at all.
And the Nocturne gets banned again. So even without the Orianna match, that makes a lot of sense.
Best of 5, ja. Viele ADKs sind raus.
Jungle is being left behind.
Taliyah without Pantheon may just be out of this series. We'll see what matchups we end up getting. I think the Ryze first pick angle for Faker here is quite strong as well, if the Yunara is banned by BNK in this final spot. With Jace taking a huge hit in the jungle, that's that extra ban that you get right now. On patch 26.3, Varus is the other consideration. So what do you want to trade? Do you want to trade Varus here for the Yunara and try to outwin the lane?
I think if you ban the Varus though, then the Yunara is kind of
Aurora ist auch offen. Ich würde wirklich Aurora überlegen.
And if you don't ban the Varus, then the Varus first pick feels a whole lot better, right? Because the Yunara is then relatively impossible to play.
Sehen wir die Fearless-Bands gar nicht mehr in der Rolle. Warum sehen wir die Fearless-Bands nicht in der Rolle? Warte mal, stimmt.
But Faker's Rise is a force to be reckoned with. They just did not.
Besser, schlechter, macht keinen Unterschied.
Now we might see a different answer. Like maybe BNK have a response ready for this Varus that we're not expecting here.
Maybe
the größer Unterschied.
Maybe that could be.
Aber not sure. Inside talk.
Kalista, I think, is probably not really what you want.
Aurora, Yunara.
So Jarvan is very good into Varus, so that's a good pick here.
Jarvan, Aurora.
For BNK to grab early.
I like that. Highest tier jungler on that's sort of left as well.
Maybe they just play Sivir here and try to spell shield some of that poke from Pays and look for wave clear and play around that macro in the mid game like we've seen so often.
Yep. Could be one of the options here. Then we'll just have to see what Kellen is going to be playing. The Ahri will be locked in for Vikla.
Interesting.
So Faker could go to, like, I mean,
Silas?
A lot of people like picking the Ahri into the Taliyah, but I feel like Taliyah can do relatively okay in the matchup as well.
I want to see a really strong partner for the Taliyah, if that's the route that Faker wants to go.
So, deswegen ADK hast du noch offen.
Arguably the best on this meta next to Vi, who will probably be banned every game and is banned in this one. And Bessa, Taliyah, a little bit less inspiring if that is going to be the jungle pick here, but it is a strong flex for T1 right now. And they could lock in carry a support pick to empower this Varus right now, if that's what they want to do. Would of course just be setting up their bottom lane blind here.
Wir wollten öfters Ahri sehen auf Punkt 3, ja. Aber, I mean, Silas.
We've seen Nautilus be probably the most
Wer Silas jetzt?
support alongside the Varus so
it's very
far.
good into Ahri as well, the Nautilus, but I think it's going to be a Faker counter pick here. We just don't know what that will be. You know, Lissandra is one of those picks you always think of when you see the Ahri, but it's going to be Nautilus, which has also been one of those other great ones.
AP Varus wurde, haben wir einen Top-Lane Varus gesehen? Bisher ein Pro-Play? Ich weiß gar nicht. Doch, haben wir. Mindestens einmal bei Anyone's Legend gegen...
The most amazing ultimates to steal yet. Like, there's not a lot
Anyone's Legend gegen...
about what the rest of this comp is going to be for a Silas pick this early, but I do think
Weibo?
solid one considering the
Was gegen Weibo? Ich weiß nicht mehr. Doch, was gegen Weibo? Okay, ja.
Carry his support away this early.
Yeah, also just bans
Wie lief Game 1? Well, super High-Pace Game, honestly. Super High-Pace. Sehr viele Kills. Er hat gecarried. Honestly, ich würde Kellen sagen. No joke. Also Diablo hat sehr viel Damage gemacht, Wickler hat gute Ults gehabt, aber ich würde Kellen sagen. AG hat den Players auch eigentlich gespielt. Ja, das wird, ja, I mean, das wird obviously am besser Jungle.
And they have a lot of single target blow up for this Varus right now, and it's because they have such.
Die One wäre, glaube ich, sehr happy mit dem Scion auch.
Flag and drag already. Even the.
Ich glaube, den hat er nicht gespielt, ne? Nip hat auch 2 bis 3 Varus gehabt, okay.
So again, we're kind of assuming this Ambessa is going to be
now, well,
and that is what BNK are doing as well.
Well,
but that it could also be flexed into the top lane.
Hey, Beam Spring Split.
Something tricky up his sleeve here.
Yeah, I'll see what he does actually want to go towards is Lee Sin. Speaking
of Lee Sin, also ich wäre als T1 sehr happy mit dem Scion hier.
I just don't want to play against Gnar and I don't want to play against Lee Sin specifically.
Er kriegt 3-0 Prediction, stimmt irgendwie nie, ja.
So That could be
Corki offen.
Doran
Corki Nami.
towards, and then there's a fair bit of physical damage in both the lethality.
Corki Nami für 4x.
It's Sivir, right? It's got to be a Sivir lane.
I think it should be, and I actually think that it's great into Silas as well.
Oh, aber dann alle. I mean, aber du kannst ja alles abpicken. Warte mal. Du kannst nicht alles abpicken. Wait a minute.
I think if it's a Sivir Karma angle that they're going for, then it kind of looks pretty good into what T1 have put down already. And so there is the Sivir first. Is Carrier going to pick away the Karma? It would mean that they have next to no engage, and so maybe that is not what they're going to look towards.
Yeah, I don't think that's
Karma gibt Nautilus pick, right?
I
Dann.
think the Renata is an interesting possibility because it's very strong into their
Und Varus wäre hier viable, ja.
allow them to
Könnte man spielen.
disengage. But it's a really tough call that has to be made here. And also, we don't yet know 100% where that Ambessa is going. You take the Alistar.
Alles der richtige Pick gegen Sivir,
It's
ja.
essentially saying, Alistar's great into Sivir. You know, we have the Silas on our side, and now this is fearlessly banned for the rest of the series. Feels like a very potent pick here, but for top and for jungle, Mystery's still here.
Yeah, let's see what they are going to do.
Cannon is definitely viable here. It's a lot
Ja, ich glaube, jetzt LCK ist schlechter als letztes Jahr. On average.
Insane engage, and can be great for disengage as well into B&K.
Yeah, Carrier taking his time, figuring out what he's going to pick up for either Doran or Ono. And the Rek'Sai is coming in, so that will be the jungle Ambessa. And Poppy will...
I mean, Poppy Value is decent hier, aber...
When you go for Poppy support, it's so scary unless you have all the information.
Okay.
Right? And when you have second pick, you
Weil ihr
get
geht 2 Minuten Zeit.
to pull that card out. And Edo locks it in here, but he's saying, like, okay, this is great into Silence.
Sivir kann ja schon kochen.
It's obviously pretty good into Rek'Sai as well.
I mean, honestly...
And for zone control on objectives, if you can knock even just 1 or 2 of those threats away, your Sivir can do great work, and they have the engage as well to back it up. I think T1 have a draft that, with nameplates on, you're like, oh god, that's horrifying. Like, they got Varus on patch 26.3, like, that doesn't seem allowed, that can't be okay, but I think the tools that B&K have, plus the playmaking we've seen from this team, it's a very B&K draft, right? It's like Diablo's on a late game carry, and the rest...
Wieso Rek'Sai? Autostain, also, Autostain nicht, aber ist immer fein. Ist immer fein in Toplane. Starker Laner. Es geht sehr gut rein.
Basically melee on T1's side, and so ricochet value could be
Gamba läuft doch gerade.
absurd.
1 Minute
With
noch.
the Poppy there, steadfast presence means that closing the gap onto this Sivir could be very, very difficult. So I do like what B&K has. The problem is just the amount of raw power on this T1 composition is very scary to deal with, and we know exactly what these players are capable of when they get their hands onto picks like this. So let's get into the rift here for game number 2. I really do appreciate that one B&K fan that screeches every time. You know,
So, okay, dein einziger Job ist Level 2 W-Skillen, okay?
just pretty loud.
Level 2 W-Skillen und hoffen, dass du hier durch die Lane kommst. Fonty, danke für 14.
It so much louder than it was this time that it made me check for make sure everything was safe. Like,
Yeah, we both looked around. We're like, hang on a second.
Ignite Mitte.
It sounded like something nefarious.
Wer Skin ist das? Sag ich dir gleich.
Yeah.
Maybe there was an insect in the building, or...
Is Insect here? That's kind of cool.
Not with Lee Sin band, I suppose.
Das ist die Hunter Princess oder sowas, oder nicht?
Here, obviously, the level 1 of the Alistar, not exactly
Oder?
going to be the most fun.
Ich weiß nicht, wie der Scheiß war. Ich suche.
Might be able to get themselves
Irgendwas mit Hunter Princess oder sowas heißt die.
time. However, T1 do decide to go for a cheeky level 1 headbutt angle.
Yeah, the good old level 1 headbutt heal that we've seen so much this season. Like, people figured out, okay, it's unplayable for Alistar level 1. You just got to use your heal and...
Huntress Sivir, oder?
One headbutt and just push more.
Ich glaube, es ist Huntress Sivir.
Alright, we're gonna get level 2 eventually. We'll survive this.
And now Diablo gets to just press W.
Primal? Ist es Primal Beast Sivir?
Yeah, obviously, it takes a little bit longer at the early levels, but still gonna...
Nee, das ist nicht Primal. Nein.
He does a pretty good job.
Das ist ein ganz alter. Ich glaube, das ist die Huntress Sivir.
So finally, Pays gets a wave to have a look at. Faker connects some chains here onto Vikla, but he gets lit on fire, and Vikla is able to stand his ground.
Actually, really like the Ignite tech, or the heal deny especially as well, into the Silas.
Yeah, the all-ins are actually pretty dangerous here for the Ahri.
And you have to be really careful, but ideally you don't want to get caught by chains ever, but the Ignite buys Vikla that extra space here to win the...
Oh ja, das kann noch nicht raus, ja.
But it's a big trade-off, obviously, without teleport.
Yep, and you're not a top laner, so you can get it for free.
Yeah, at least you have home guards, I suppose.
All right, so Vickler is going to send Faker home a little bit early here, but he's just going to go for a tempo back as good steadfast presence there from Kellen.
Super, er hat W geskillt, damit ist er schon mal besser als welche Poppy auch immer wir gesehen hatten. Wer war das? Auch in der LCK, oder nicht? Was, Peter?
Oh, okay, good charm connects onto Faker.
Wow.
Who
Wow.
hasn't actually teleported yet, thank goodness. And he will
War das Peter? Wer war die Disgusting Poppy, die rein EQ ist? Oder war das in der Prime League? Könnte auch in der Prime League gewesen sein. Wow.
And realizes that he doesn't actually have
So ist immer Peter. Irgendein Poppy hat EQ geskillt, Level 2. Obwohl, es war in der Prime League, glaube ich. Ich glaube, das war in der Prime League.
Alright,
so it's a BNK game. Yeah. It's a BNK game. There's no breathing room. There's no early, like, oh, let's see how this laning phase goes. It's been pretty calm, just farming it out. It's just constant aggression, but it has paid off. Well, minus the flash on the top side. That one didn't really pay off. But otherwise, it's been paying off.
Oh, heal coming on 3.
Come on.
He's in a little bit of trouble.
Come on.
That headbutt angle, but Kellen has steadfast presence, so it's so hard to press that W button. Oh, man. All right, BNK with retained control here towards this bottom side. And it is translating into a little bit of a lead as far as money is concerned for BNK, but nothing that's too much to worry about on the T1 side.
Hayes does have teleport, so, you know, Diablo wants to try to force these all-ins as much as he can. Used the barrier earlier. Doesn't have it anymore, but we'll have it up again soon. But because of the teleport, even if Hayes gets chunked down, can always feel pretty safe to just get back to lane for free. As Vickler, again, just trying to trade aggressively. Knight comes back, he can continue to do that as he's really pushing ahead here in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Taking a very significant CS advantage and has chipped away at the second plate. Gonna force Faker to take another early back here and doesn't have his teleport anymore. And because Vickler took Ignite, you want to be able to get this value early, and so far it is working incredibly well for him.
Yeah, this is what you need to do if you have decided to not take the teleport.
Like, look at how much Faker can potentially lose here off of this wave as well, because he has to run back. He has boots, that'll help a little bit, but so much lost money.
Yeah, home guard.
So Lanes laufen gut, ich meine Top Lane ist whatever. Also honestly, Top Lane ist einfach whatever.
Pick up too many of these. Boomerang Blade, high value there from Diablo. T1 with this wave pushed back should be absolutely fine. Both of our bottom laners with culls in hand. As Raptor looking for that angle, in goes
Nee.
And Carrier will just...
Ich glaube, realistisch impactst du hier nichts. Schöner EQ.
Beautifully by Raptor, gets himself out of dodge. And the mid lane under control here from Faker as he does make his way back. So understandable that they don't want to go too far. As clear with against Doran. And the slice comes through, but Doran tunnels his way out.
Too bad.
To go back home.
Clear flashed earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish he had it there. But he is still going to get a pretty nice advantage from this, and will continue to hit that topside turret. So not all for nothing there, despite not having the flash to follow. Gets the flash out of Doran, and will get plate money and deny farm.
Yeah,
BNK's early game, pretty insane.
Well, that's a great knock-up as the flash comes through. Ona is lit on fire.
Sexy.
First blood going over to the job, and Vickler avoids the chains as Faker has stolen the ulti and will find the follow-up kill. Now Carrier
Also dieser Silence Champion mit einer Ari-Ulti, ne? Was passiert da?
But so is Raptor.
Raptor picking up that kill rather than the Ari. Ideal, but still a very aggressive play. Faker is able to trade it back, but some really nice footwork there from Vickler.
Yeah.
Luckily for him, he's not the one who dies. So that's a big chunk.
Yeah, good old just being able to do a whole lot of damage. I believe that was W empowered.
Yeah, with the cull in inventory.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have a Dirk.
I'm not sure where that damage came from outside of pressing W. As Vickler still with the lead here in this mid lane, but let's have a look at how this all eventuated as a battle over the ward.
Also Silence mit Ari-Ulti ist auf jeden Fall ein Champ of all time.
How crisp they are with this. Also the dodge on the chains here from Vickler, very impressive. Raptor went so deep though that there's no real way to get out of here. Faker flashes. Unfortunately for him, that's not going to amount to anything.
Yeah, not able to get on top, but keeping them honest, making sure that Kellen was rotating up. And that is denied. Man, this Poppy is going to be such a big deal in this game. Like, so much of this rests on how Kellen plays a lot of these later game team fights with the amount of value that you can get out of the steadfast presence and with the fact that
Bekommt Silence die Resets, ja.
Space with the
Top 5 Silence Ults, alles da, Malphite.
Owner is making his way in. Public execution goes wide though, but the chains do connect. Good charm from Vickler, but I don't know whether he's
Ari, Blitzcrank, keine Ahnung, Swain,
there is the cataclysm though.
Zeri, was weiß ich.
Now Owner Stuck inside the circle. Teleport's coming in, but their turtle port.
Oh mein Gott. Okay. Wie lange sich dort tot ist, finde ich vor. Aber ich finde diese Series bisher so geil. Weil die einfach so viel Aggression dabei haben. No. Aatrox, Insa-Ulti, ja. Gibt schon viele gute.
So not the most impactful, but it pushes owner off of the map, which is the more powerful aspect of this.
Yep, there's also the fact that now Faker has a gold advantage. Yes. And that's the big deal here. T1 are making sure that Faker is going to be a menace in side lanes. And I think at the moment, it's looking like mission successful. And it's crazy that Vikla, like, he's able to react here and dodge, but because he doesn't have flash, obviously, he could dodge one, but you know, you can't really get both, as Raptor does come over here quickly, flashes for the Cataclysm to hold owner in place so that this Poppy can get something done. He actually almost gets the damage done himself with that last flag. And yeah, ultimately, then, Faker gets a lot of money, like you said. Yep. And if Kellen actually could have stuck around and possibly got a heroic charge into the wall in turret range or something like that, it might have been an extra kill. So the fact that Raptor wasn't able to finish off owner with that 1Q, actually kind of a big deal. As Clear once again just doing a little bit too much damage to Doran, but is taking a fair bit in turn. Still has dominance, so obviously not close to dead. The Executioner's calling is super high value in this matchup, and he got it early with the lead that he had, and was able to really continue to apply that pressure and hurt the sustain of the Rek'Sai, something that you don't normally get to have with a pickaxe as well in inventory this early. So feeling very powerful, and it will wield the sword to its fullest effect here. As Vikla is no longer in free bully territory, has to play really well, as you can see here, to try to trade back. Raptor nearby. Yeah. And Raptor is going to now try and challenge for this dragon. Kellen moving over. Does have the Keeper's Verdict available. Let's see whether he can use it to guarantee some position. But there's the Flash Pulverize. He does get the ulti off, but it's only...
Gehen wir nicht rein, wir gehen für den Drake. Wirklich, das ist eine Entscheidung of all time. Boah, er kommt noch raus. Okay. Okay, well, okay. Das ist irgendwie besser rausgegangen, als ich dachte. Ich dachte, das wird viel schlimmer.
As top laners both having teleport, but we're not interested in the
Drake. Ich dachte, das wird viel schlechter ausgehen.
Stop said teleports on both sides. And Raptor now has his Sundered Sky. He got out, did have his flag and drag. Didn't have his flash, which was a big concern for looking for that contest on the dragon itself. This Faker, there's a big old Cataclysm, manages to get the ulti out of Vikla here. As we do have the teleport upgrading, but we don't see the charge.
Oh mein Gott, das ist so geil, wenn du voll auf das 1v1 fokussiert bist, dann kommt auf einmal jemand aus dem Off.
Pretty unreal.
Geil.
Game 1 to start things off with the
play
on Orianna, and then here on this Ahri. So many resources being given to Vikla, but man, Raptor has been everywhere. The Poppy ultimate here does push the Alistar away, but he sacrificed his life, but it ends up being enough space here for Raptor to get this dragon without using his flag and drag, so he can then use it to escape. And the Raptor comes in here very late. And it's almost as if Vikla and him have been coordinated, because he was walking up mid straight up before this, right? And then Vikla misses the charm, but that's the go button for Faker. He's like, I'm going in, and look at this, just barely.
Yeah.
Not enough damage.
It's crazy, because T1 pinged exactly where Raptor was at that time as well. I think they knew just how narrow that window was. Flash forward from Clear, looks to take down Doran and just barely misses it once again. But it's a win flash for Flash and sends him home. Sends him home, and he has his dominance running. Can go over here and take some additional plate money and force Doran to TP. He gets to hold on to his. A huge win here is Clear having a really nice performance on this Renekton. Again, like I said, is probably his best champion this season. They gave it to him earlier. They protected it with an R-ban. It is working a treat. Yeah, and it's not exactly the Rek'Sai matchup that you really want, right? Often Rek'Sai wants to abuse tanks. Renekton is not a tank, and so maybe not necessarily working out for that reason. As Vikla clearing out this wave quite nicely. Look at how tanky this guy is. He's got his Black Cleaver completed already. Clear ready to cut.
Clear raus, nein, Double Elimination.
And Vikla now.
Das müsste völliger Rocketbelt sein, beide miteinander gespiked.
Okay, let's see whether they are actually.
Ich würde sogar sagen, dass 2v2 wahrscheinlich favored für BFX ist, oder? Also insofern Vikla da die am besser Ulti dodgt. Doch noch äquivalent zu 1k Gold. Ja, ist ein bisschen schwer abzumessen in Gold, right? Weil rein Pressure, das es auf der Map gibt und so weiter. Und Scaling und so weiter. Wahrscheinlich mehr.
Now Jarvan clearing towards top side here. Maybe he gets one. You know, I mean, you're nearby. What do you think?
Aber es ist klar, du, BFX spielt bisher ziemlich gut.
He's pinging it. He's
Okay.
going. There's no cross map really. So T1 gonna rotate Pays into the mid lane here.
Yeah.
Faker's going bottom side, but doesn't have TP, and I think it should just be free grubs here. And Vika can hold this wave, and then they could swap him to the bottom lane and send the Sivir mid. As BNK once again, it's nothing groundbreaking, but it's solid macro.
Well, Diablo is in a little bit of trouble. However, Faker runs out of buttons to press as Vikla. Wow, that was a lot of damage out of Pace. Actually threw out the chains of corruption.
Also Gott, mit Ari-Ultis kannst du. Sollte funktionieren.
Yeah,
Raptor clearing out
unfortunately
vision where he can.
for T1, not
Wenn du auf dem Indikator ultst, müsste es, glaube ich, noch
delay,
gehen.
so that swap back for the Sivir.
Angaben gewährt.
We'll be able to get plate for Pays. Pays plate goes over, and now the Ahri does go to the bottom lane. Diablo's going to come here mid. Few minions lost, so it's what T1 get in return for the 3 grubs.
All right, Doran is going to be feeling a little bit better now that the Titanic Hydra is completed. Clear still will be just fine, culling the Meek over and over there in that lane as Diablo parked in mid, the favorite place of the Sivir.
Likes to be there. He's not really clearing them fast. He wants to just kind of deny here a little bit, keep the wave in a safe spot, which does make sense. And we're going to have, in the next minute, that dragon here. BNK could take a 2 Drake lead and deny a very valuable...
Wieso hast du Junta Bases? Ich glaube, wenn du 1-3 Base bekommst, nimmst du ihn mit.
for them. Pretty
Aber
decent
ich
for
glaube, er hatte kein 1-3 Base
T1
für BF dort.
arguably way more valuable.
Yep. I think as well, double dragon would mean a whole lot in this game especially.
Yes, with the Sivir and the scaling elements that we've already discussed with that. So much extra freedom.
Ja, Death Stance oder Shojin oder Profane, not sure.
This game is a lot less bloody than the last one, but still a lot of action.
There's another dominance.
Was?
Raptor's gone,
Was?
but so is Carrier over
Was?
the other side, but trading places not quite working.
Ja, Doran ist tot, aber was?
Under the job, and as the Cataclysm comes down, he tries to get out, but he fails.
Was?
And it's Owner that takes down his opposition. Kellen's flashing. They know that they have to get out of there, and Diablo has to flash as well, as now Faker
Oh mein Gott, Kellen.
has
Okay.
discovered the Poppy. And I don't know whether Kellen is going to be escaping this one. The charm is going to get avoided. And Kellen
Was macht
should be going
Raptor
down.
da? Hä?
Kellen to take down a Poppy, but Faker is going to get him in the end. As Clear might just
Der
start and got a solo kill onto Doran, I believe, in the top.
Geht er für den Blue Buff rein?
Finally got the kill.
Make it make sense. Ich meine, das Krokodil ist super OP.
Were there. He does not have boots, by the way, still. Ends up killing the Rex side there and taking the turret out. So going back to this fight, it's a little bit bizarre. Oh, we're just going to watch this first. Let's see.
Yeah, this was when the Dominus got popped, and I was expecting Doran to just kind of tunnel, but instead he ulted and died, I think. Yeah.
I don't think he had a tunnel to use
Oh,
there. And then here,
Für einen Blue Buff?
100% sure what the game plan was for this one for Raptor, because Pays
Seriously?
and Diablo's on the other side of the wall, and is not that high range on the Sivir. And then there was some shenanigans here where Kellen tries to buy time to try to deny Faker. Faker's flash is phenomenal against the charm that Vikla has over the wall here. The reaction is so crisp. Watch this.
Yeah,
He's
beautifully
just
done.
not going to let anything go wrong in this one, and we'll pick up the kill.
And so Rift Herald, in the meantime, is going to go
Oh,
over
really?
BNK. That might help alleviate some of the issues, but
is
Faker is
crazy.
problematic here for BNK. 4-1-0 on this Silas. They've made sure that the money goes his way, and they know, I mean, Faker has won World
Fuck, der ist
Championships
OP.
with this champion. He is
Fuck, der ist OP, aber das Krokodil auch.
Turns out the guy who's played the most champions in mid lane over the longest period of time, who has the most experience in League of Legends, can use the ultimates of other champions
Yeah, I'm
incredibly
surprised
well.
he doesn't play more Viego mid, because I feel like his skill set would certainly help him there.
Yeah, you might be onto something.
We'll see whether he does get there. Viego was almost a mid laner.
It was for like 2
1
seconds.
point, yeah.
Remember Chovy played it fairly recently?
Yeah,
It was kind of funny.
It was that one time, and then I think it got nerfed into oblivion, or they just realized it wasn't good, and then no one played it anymore. And that made me a bit sad, because it is a fun champion to be available on the Rift.
Viego's Q is very difficult to balance around not being in the jungle.
Yeah.
I think that's why they have to be very careful, the balance team that is. As a TP is going to come through here for Faker. And we're grouped around the bottom side. There's no dragon for 3 minutes. We're fighting anyways.
Yeah, Roy Charge comes in. Carrier does have the ulti. His Chains of Corruption does connect. And now Raptor.
Top-Ulti kennst du noch nicht. Oh, wow.
Not quite going to work out, but even through the
Ist es nicht sogar schlecht für die besser? Okay. Na, weit. Haben die Damage für den Silas hier? Wie schaut's aus, Freunde? Haben wir Damage für den... Wir haben Damage für den Silas. Alright, und dann kommt das fette Krokodil rein. Warte mal. Haben wir einen Stun? Ja, haben wir nicht. Okay.
Nice Rift Herald into all the crystalline overgrowth in the mid lane. That is going to be BNK taking out.
Dorian hat doch Flash ab.
Turret in mid,
The second
getting
turret of the
even
game.
more money.
Yeah, this is a really strong position here right now for BNK.
Diablo.
And like, I don't know where he's gonna send it. I guess just
into the wall.
into the wall. The fights, we keep watching these fights where Kellen dies, but he does so much work on this Poppy. Like, he goes in here onto Carrier to start things off. Right?
Ich hab mich gefragt, ob es nicht sogar schlecht ist, dass ja besser nicht rausgeholt wird.
During Carrier's ultimate just really isn't there. So Carrier is tanking, but they can't really get anything in return. And so many of these fights I'm watching, damage dealers on the side of T1 or junglers getting hit, and Kellen's the one who's getting hit on the other side. He's blocking for Vikla here. Poppy just takes so long to take out.
Oh.
Vikla just changes targets here initially, zones owner away.
Poppy auch, also Poppy W Passive ist so verrückt. Mit diesen extra Resistances und so.
Save the day and can offer nothing. And Kellen is just, he's everywhere in this game.
And Faker also missed the Keeper's verdict that he'd stolen away.
Yeah.
And so actually kind of a big deal that he needed to invest so much more time to try and kill Kellen. A large reason why it looked like this Poppy survived for way longer than he had any right to. As Vikla clears out this wave. But look at the massive lead for this Crocodile. I mean, Clear is just so large in this game. And the fact that Doran isn't really able to do too much and is soon going to be staring down the barrel of a 2-item Renekton. As soon as Clear like turns up into team fights, what is Pace supposed to do?
Bin so gespiked. Ari noch zweites Item.
Faker's big enough. And right now, Faker's lead is significantly smaller than it was before. He's the only one with the lead here for T1 anywhere.
Ich meine, Renekton müsste sogar fast sein. Renekton sollte sein zweites Item fast fertig haben, oder? Der war wieder lange nicht Base.
Too large, too early.
Das könnte fast ein fertiges Derricks bedeuten.
Position is just so easy to play out.
Auch schön.
Having a phenomenal performance on one of his best picks.
Yeah, he's looking real good. Faker, though, is the one that's still holding a gold lead for T1. And it's just such an unknown factor. The Silas we saw in the last fight didn't quite work out, but in the next one, it may just hard carry, you know? As Doran is going to get interrupted. It's just a little bit frustrating. I don't think he's going to be going down.
15 Krokodil, Minute 19.
So much health.
Balanced.
These two brawlers are really going to be a struggle for T1 to figure out.
We haven't talked about it too much, but Cloud
Zeig mir das Renekton-Item.
on Sivir
Oh, yeah.
and on Ari.
Es ist ein volles Item, oder? Deswegen wartet er so
I
lang.
was just quietly very happy.
And
Nein, immer noch nicht. Okay, aber fast fertiges Derricks.
pretty big. It's obviously very good for Silas and Ambessa and for even the Alistair as well. I mean, Cloud Soul's just really powerful, but if BNK are able to get this and buy additional time for this Sivir comp that they don't even necessarily need, it's pretty huge, but they are not set up to contest, and there's no TP for Vikla.
All right, now they're going to try and turn onto Raptor. There's the flash knock-up as Keeper's verdict.
Beautiful.
Gets rid of two of them.
Aber dass sie den Drake geben, finde ich nicht so beautiful.
Drake is going to get rushed down and T1 will hit double.
War nicht so viel später auf der Map.
Okay, as Faker. Okay, Charm is going to miss.
Aber waren die so viel später auf der Map? Ja, ich hab's schon gesehen, ja.
I feel like I should be better at League of Legends. I keep blaming the fact that I'm getting on in age.
I guess kein TP auf Renekton, aber...
He's younger than me, however, his reaction time is definitely better than mine ever was, ever. You
Okay, aber dann spielen wir jetzt auch für den Bot-Entry, oder?
know, being able to react that well.
Oder wie machen wir's?
I am a little bit like the way that
Ich weiß nicht, ob ich so geil finde, da in die Ari reinzuspielen.
what the rest
Kannst du
of
machen, aber...
like, it's a bit haphazard, but however,
All right, there's a knock-up onto Owner. As Chain's gonna miss. Vikla now
Okay.
looking for a way to get in. Great.
Immer noch kein TP bei Renekton, by the way. Just saying.
Mitigate it completely and down.
What the fuck?
Raptor, Vikla should be following here as the auto is in the air from Pays, and they just wipe
That's
out
Baron.
the Fox Lady. That should be Baron, and oh dear. Oh,
Yeah.
the game was there, it was on the hands,
Yeah.
and now it's missing.
yeah.
Ja, also wir geben... Okay, wir geben den Drake.
Leading into, I'm a little bit concerned about how BNK are setting up because it's very
Bei Renekton
because of things like
Item wartet und kein
it's a
TP
very
hat.
scrappy composition that T1 have with
Da hat Renekton immer noch kein TP.
and if you give them the opportunity, they will just smash in skirmishes, even
Da
with
fighten wir willentlich auf Topside.
which is quite small now.
Wenn unser Renekton 20.000 Gold hat und fast Level 16 ist.
His ultimate is what really is the kicker here because he's able to mitigate the charm entirely as Vikla avoids the chains and with his charm he's like got him, but unfortunately not only does he mitigate it but he also takes
Okay.
at the same time and Vikla's way too deep, cannot escape, and so that's 2 kills and that is the Baron. In the meanwhile, Clear did get that outer turret in the bottom lane and is still a big threat on this Renekton, but
Es ist erster Nash, aber trotzdem. Storms ist wieder eine. Ich habe das Gefühl, bei Ari haben die keine Ahnung, was sie kaufen sollen. No joke. Ich glaube, Ari Item Build ist wieder...
Extremely scary.
Ja.
And you can see like Diablo, I believe, is building towards Lord Dom's next as well, so that's going to put back the Infinity Edge that he really wants a little bit later to 4 items. And so this Sivir is not going to be that massive threat until much later in this game, if we even get there. As T1 look to take down their first turret of the Baron. Already the Rebel Baron power play ticking over 1,000.
That's the gold lead for T1 really for the first time, but it's more than gold that T1 will gain from this, as you mentioned, and all of this control, all of this siege.
Der Alternative, also wir hatten Actualizer gegen von 10 Cooks, fand ich honestly nicht mal so schlecht. I don't know. No fucking way, du bist Level 14, er ist Level 16. Are you serious? Ich wollte sagen, okay. Okay, ich wollte gerade sagen. Okay. Und auf Wiedersehen.
Oh, man.
The only way he wins that is if he gets enough from his Dominus to actually get the empowered W. He knows that. He flashes on Faker. Faker does not react. The empowered W takes him down. That was a really good judgment there from Clear.
Nash vorbei. 250 Gold Nash Play.
Knows he can get that W off. That's all he needs. Faker looks pretty frustrated on the player cam there because that was a huge opportunity. He thought turned against him completely. He's 2 levels down because Clear's finished his quest a long time ago and it's quite massive on this Renekton.
Yeah.
Level 17 Renekton. Der ist so OP in einem Teamfight. Eigentlich, also, die müssen doch Favor sein in dem Fight, oder? Das gibt noch ein fertiges LDR bei Sivir. Oder LDR, wahrscheinlich eher Mortal Reminder, oder?
Let's have a look at this one more time, as honestly it wasn't like that. It was very close to Faker actually winning out on this trade.
6, 5, 4. He needs it so desperately, right? Gets the empowered Q, backs away, waits for his Fury, and waits for his W. Flashes on, gets the W, Qs him, and has enough damage there with the slice and dice coming up at the last possible second. Clears judgment, insane in this moment. And then takes the teleport out.
Just gorgeous. Also doesn't take the cannon because he knows that otherwise he'd die. Everything about it just gorgeously well played. And so this Renekton...
Sivir-Item fertig? Ja, LDR fertig, okay. Keine Welt, in der BFX diesen Fight verliert, oder nicht? Am besten ist auch 3 Items. Ja, das stimmt. Double Paddy ist auch sehr OP, ja.
Junglers don't always have the income required to have that, but he also has the Death Stance, so he's difficult to kill, is going to be dashing a lot, is going to be doing massive amounts of damage when his Shojins is constantly stacked as well. Like, this is Ambessa's dream, these 3 items all together. And with Silas there as well, Diablo has to be very careful about how he's positioned. It's going to take a long time to cut through that front line.
Yeah. All right, let's see whether B&K can find themselves a team fight, though. That's going to be the question, as Vikla has to throw down the ulti.
Okay.
Here on the sidelines, but
Warum hat meine Ari auf Top-Lane jetzt wieder keine... What the fuck? What the fuck?
Still, this is going to be sole point for T1 if they're able to lock down this dragon.
Hä?
And they do pull it out, and I don't see too much of a contest here out of
B&K.
Let's see whether Raptor can go for a bit of a steal, as Keeper's verdict just gets cancelled immediately.
Yeah, they just want to knock on our way to steal one.
Hä?
They just back off. They were just hoping for Keeper's verdict into a little flag and drag.
Warum ist meine Ari Toplane ohne TP und warum verliert sie dann im Moment ihre Ulti? Guys, bitte.
Is now just not really going to be a factor here in
this unserious.
Tries to save this turret. These minions just die so quickly. Faker in a side lane though.
Ich check's nicht.
T1 can just sort of build the clock.
Faker also, I think, I'm not sure if he should stay here because there's company. His top laner has teleport.
Yeah, and we know that just the Crocodile is a dangerous one. Now there's love in there as well. Teleport's coming in, Cataclysm goes down.
Guess what?
Bro, was respectfully. Also, jetzt mal for real, siehst. Hier passieren Dinge. Raptor, du bist am Feeden. Du bist nicht am Feeden. Was passiert hier? Na, also, es war einfach super greedy von Faker, to be honest. Insanely greedy, Level 18 Renekton. 26. Actually insanely greedy von T1.
The way they set up that dragon as well, we're like, all right, let's see if we can get the Keeper's verdict steal. Also, Sivir's pushing mid. We're going to get plates. We're threatening the mid turret. We're doing all this at the same time. And then we're going to be able to get the punish here on the Faker if he stays. Faker decides not to take his Empowered Recall, because he has Empowered Recall, right? And he doesn't want to use it here, and he's like, oh, maybe I could stay, get something out of this, because Doran has TP. But this Renekton, I thought we made it clear, pun intended, that this guy is just going to do damage too quickly. And then Doran is just a wet noodle in this game, so he shows up and he's like, oh god, well at least on Rek'Sai I can get out, right? But unfortunately he doesn't really have tunnels set up on this side of the map. Raptor catches him here, and he will also fall.
It was actually almost enough damage there, but clear with the buffer W means that there was no way that Doran was going to do anything at all. So really nicely played from BNK to make sure that they could get both of those kills. They've been invested to make sure that it happens.
Those kills mean that they can get some vision around Baron now and potentially start to threaten turns off of this, and they will do exactly that right now. Faker still has TP.
Yeah, Doran is towards the top side as well, so he can rotate down, but they're going to have to get a move on. As Raptor realizing he's the only one in the pit.
I think they just wanted Faker's TP, and T1 do not take the bait. Oh, I see that. Faker does actually, in fact, TP into mid.
And he finally has level 3 hijack as well, so that Dominus will be doing as much as clears. The last couple of times he picked a fight with the Crocodile, it was one level behind, which really is a big deal. And now he's got a Sterix Gauge. He's level 18, moving very swiftly towards level 19. Sterix, one of those items that really does work better when you have way more levels than everyone else.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy how levels can impact items like that, and the value of this is calling.
Die wollen wir damit Spaß haben, ich weiß nicht. Ich habe das Gefühl, dass dieses Game, also honest, ich habe das Gefühl, dass dieses Game nicht mal so close sein sollte. So zwei ganz weirde Entscheidungen um die letzten zwei Drakes herum.
Yeah, maybe he should finish it.
Could just like, maybe it's just like one of those things that makes you feel even better if it's just an executioner's calling for the entire
game.
Yeah, I guess I don't even know if there's
a zweimal.
tip for the heal denied, probably not. But
oh yeah, like the counts how much healing is denied.
You'd be like just putting that in the post game. By the way, look at how much value for gold.
So, da ist jetzt ein Level 19 Renekton für diesen Drake, okay?
But getting a GA would also feel really nice.
Es ist nicht losable.
Difficult to kill him, and killing him a second time just sounds kind of out of the question.
Dieser Ari-Builder macht die nicht Damage. No joke, macht die nicht decent Damage.
He has been behind Faker a lot of this game, but still made a lot of impacts with his charms. And for the rest of this game, it's really about, can T1 secure Cloud Soul or win a team fight on the Dragon to then get Baron to kind of close this one out. I think that's what T1 need. In terms of gold, it's 1.3k at 30 minutes, not the biggest gold lead. Nothing really to write home about.
Yep, and we do actually have those healing.
Level 19 Renekton. Hast du ein GA fertig? Nee, hast du nicht. Okay.
And over 300 regen.
Yeah, not too bad. So T1 now set up around this Dragon that is
warte mal.
25 seconds. BNK finally actually here to fight for it, not wanting T1 to get a free soul. I think that makes a lot of sense. And let's see whether Diablo can actually make it
Moment mal.
on the map, because so far, a bit of a
hat Randuins? Warte mal.
the Sivir this time.
Wait.
As in game 1, he was definitely one of the main characters.
Das ist ein bisschen blöd.
For T1 to fight this out, because the positioning of Diablo is so good. Look at Owner wrapping around.
Ja, sagen wir Free Drake oder nicht? Start den Drake. Start den Drake.
Diablo.
Start den Drake.
Ooh, great charm going to connect that on
Damage man, gut. Super.
This time.
Look at Clear's positioning as well. He's also threatening on the flank.
Yep. And does have the Cloud Rift there as well to make sure that he's real speedy. Doran gets the knocker.
Clear, du bist immer noch Level 19 und Thanos. Oh mein Gott. Was? Wie OP ist Varus? HTP, TP sofort zurück. TP sofort zurück, du dummes Krokodil. Clear? Geht jetzt der Space. Wickler. Aha, es ist so fucked. Es ist so fucked. Wie OP ist Varus, bitte? GG. Alter, wie OP ist Varus? Der hat ihm gerade 60% Spiel weggedrückt, ne?
Of going in there, looking for Faker, absolutely does not pay off. And it's in that moment the rest of T1 get on top of Diablo. And their objective in this fight was to secure Dragon. They didn't need to win the fight. They were trying to zone.
Schaut auf den Damage von Varus. Das ist nicht normal.
Also using his Keeper's Verdict very early. And I think he really will regret this choice because he only gets Doran And now can
What?
affect the zoning here or really positioning of anybody to try to win the war of attrition to secure Dragon.
Schauen das, ja, aber die Frage ist, guck mal, jetzt kann... Also erstmal, warum braucht Clear so lange zu basen? Und warum Full Senden die, bevor er zurückkommt? Ich check das nicht. Das hat eigentlich gar nichts gemacht, oder? Ich am Trippen. Er kriegt die ganze Zeit Reset, ja, aber... Also, das war mit der W, ja, I mean, ist Level 19 Renekton.
Same level of cohesion that we'd seen throughout the rest of this series in that team fight. The fact that On the Hunt got 0 value because they hear the Sivir get real loud and yelling and stuff like that, T1 then immediately back away. And BNK weren't able to then turn that into something like a dragon take for themselves or anything like that. T1 just bide their time, come back, take them down. So BNK back to the drawing board here. They still have a scary team fighting composition as it's a great charm to connect onto Faker. It's not looking too consequential at this point in time, and these spirit rushes that Faker has been using have been pretty diabolical.
Pretty horrifying. Silas speedy. And with Cloud Soul, it's pretty insane. IE's done for Diablo. It's going to have to put it to good work here on this defense. Sivir can buy you so much space against Baron because her Razor, as you can see...
Okay, aber das Game ist immer... Also das Game ist ziemlich fucked, to be honest. Also jetzt ist ziemlich fucked. Aber wie können die den Renekton nicht in Szene setzen und kriegen... Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott. GG. Wie OP ist Renekton? Ich checke... Nee. Nee, ist fein. GG.
T1 just go from winning a team fight to game over in the click of your fingers.
Yeah, that's all it takes. And poor Diablo, he cleared that wave.
Also für mich war das wieder wirklich ein unlosable Game.
No.